I'm Megan Skidmore. For 2.5 years, I have been talking about evolving faith journeys. I started to tire of the heaviness of this focus. I had the clear message come through. It is time for Beyond the Shadow of Doubt podcast to evolve into Living Beyond the Shadow of Doubt podcast. With the same vulnerability and unapologetic authenticity, I will be focusing on the joy in this journey, the life and the living that comes on the other side of maybe, on the other side of what's possible. I want to talk about claiming spiritual sovereignty and becoming your own captain of your vessel. Let's celebrate releasing what no longer aligns for you and connecting with your higher power and honor expanding your energy field to make room for all things new. The vibration is high this month on Living Beyond the Shadow of Doubt podcast. Pretense is dropped and caution thrown to the wind in each interview. I'm dropping a new episode daily, spotlighting one of the amazing, soul-led, heart-centered authors of Joan of Arc Publishing, or JOA Publishing, founded by Kira Brinton. Like the namesake for this publishing house, each one embodies the fearless, God-centered spirit left by the legacy of Joan of Arc. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single one. Welcome everyone to today's episode. I have Randa Stratton-Dutcher with me. Met her in person finally after being in some of the same communities online for some time now, at Success Code Live and actually at the JOA Collective in mid-January, late January. Thank you so much for being willing to come on my podcast. It was at that conference I decided there are so many amazing authors, so many life-changing stories. I wanted to bring you all on to my podcast. So we'll get to the book that is yours and the story that is yours in a little bit. But let's start out first. If you can share, just give us, your background, where you're from, your family, your faith, profession.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm an Arizona girl through and through. I'm 5th generation and very proud of that. And I married a 5th generation boy from a small town in Arizona, and we have 5 kids. When I was pregnant with our 5th child, we got divorced, and 2.5 years later, we got remarried, and we are 10 years. December of 2025 will be our 11th year of this second marriage together. And I've been a life coach. I have run retreats. I wrote 2 books in 2023. And I have 3 kids left at home. And by the end of this semester of school, I'll have 2 left at home. And I'm feeling in a very weird space. But most of all, my deep love is singing. I love to sing. I'm a rodeo girl. I'm a horse girl. And I sing national anthems at quite a few rodeos a year and at other sporting events. And I'm just working on getting more singing experiences into my life right now. And I have a podcast. Gosh, there's a lot. And I have a podcast, the Going Dutch podcast.
So I love that so much. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you for that background. So maybe I didn't catch it, or what your faith background, were you raised?
Yeah, I didn't say that. Faith? Thank you. Yeah, so I was raised in the LDS faith. My great grandfather is named in the Doctrine and Covenants. He was an assistant to Joseph Smith. And my husband comes also from that same kind of line, not the same line, but 5-6 generations ago. And we still go to church. We raise our kids still in the LDS faith. And we believe that we are, giving different perspectives.
If I remember correctly, when we chatted earlier, your book goes into some of this story a little more in depth. Is that right?
No, actually. I haven't actually written about this yet. No. My 2 books, I have a children's book, You Have a Gift, Shine Bright, and it's geared towards children figuring out what their gifts are. Because everyone does have gifts, and sometimes they aren't obvious, like sports or music or acting. Maybe they're organizing or being happy or being able to make friends wherever you go. And so that's my children's book. And then I was the head author in a collaboration book called Healing Through Broken Relationships. And so there's 16 other authors. My chapter specifically speaks about suicide ideation.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, we'll be sure to leave those links in the show notes for folks to be able to access.
Thank you.
So I heard you say yet. I haven't written about that yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been called. I haven't felt a call to
Yeah.
like be public about all of my feelings and emotions.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's totally
And
okay.
and I know that I'm not alone in my feelings and emotions. And I don't have hard feelings being through a divorce and having my parents divorced when I was little
Mhm.
and some other family traumas. I think I'm just in a space, and not everybody feels this way, and I don't think everybody does have to feel this way, but I feel that every family, every religion, every political party, every country, every city, every town has flavors. And there's not always a good flavor, and there's not always a very bad flavor. And to love my family, I get to accept the good and the bad that I think is bad. And so I kind of look at the LDS faith as that. There are some things I really don't agree with. And there's things that I feel indifferent to, and I think I have a different view on some things.
Sure.
But I feel my husband and I have felt at this time that we go because it's a great community for our kids. People, our ward is really wonderful and accepting, and we have, I don't know, just what, sorry, one day, let me get clear on this. One day, I was sitting in church, and I go back and forth some days, and I'm like, why am I here? This feels really ridiculous. But this one day in particular, I just felt God really wrap his arms around me and say, you're in a space where everyone around you is trying to do their best. Every week, they're trying to do something good for themselves and their family. And there's not another space for you like this right now. So this is the best space for you to be in. And so that's where I'm at.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's not always, the easiest thing to open up our hearts because our faith journeys, our spiritual journeys are very sacred and personal to us. So thank you.
Yeah.
If if you can think of a time that you would feel comfortable sharing about when you began to realize that parts of your belief system weren't working for you any longer, or maybe it was shifting. Like, can you think of a time that
Mhm.
that happened and then how you were able to move through those challenges, those struggles, whatever you want to call them, when, once you realized it?
Yeah.
That can be, yeah, that is experienced very vastly differently among people
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. No, I do have a very specific experience. It kind of starts before I was born. My parents had me while in high school and in a very small town. And there was a lot of shame and gossip and just not a lot of love and care and um, support. And so I realized a few years ago that I had taken on that shame from my parents had felt, and I think I felt it in utero. And so I had this ongoing conversation, I think almost my whole life about shame, and shame was my motivator. If I could feel shame or guilt about something, I could motivate myself to be better, whether it was diet or exercise or church things or friendships or whatever. If I could find a way to make myself wrong and feel guilty and shameful, then I could be a better person.
Wow.
And so about 2017, 18, I had an experience that that it felt to my core that I had committed murder. It wasn't any, I didn't commit murder. It wasn't anything that, it really wasn't wrong. But in my heart, I felt like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing I could have ever done. And I went to God the very next day this experience happened, and I said, Heavenly Father, I do not believe that I did a good thing. Can you forgive me? And I immediately felt peace. Like, we're good. You're good. I'm good. Move on.
Wow.
But because I had this shame conversation, I continued to be basically a masochist. I continued for about 2.5 years to make myself wrong, to shame. I shut down. I was very depressed, lots of suicide ideation. It was my marriage was not on the rocks, but it was just really, really painful. And I punished myself and everyone else around me.
So it sounds like
And
you got that message coming through
yeah,
loud and clearly. It still took some time for you to fully like absorb it and embody it.
I didn't want to believe it. Well, I was like, that's bullcrap. Why would God tell me that this is okay when I know that this is shameful? This is really shameful.
As part of my commitment to giving back, every first Friday of the month, I offer a free coaching hour. Anyone is welcome to join, and you may leave your camera off and change your name if you would like to remain anonymous. This is an opportunity to get introduced to my style of holistic coaching and what it would be like to work with me. Gain real skills, insight relevant to you, and fresh perspective on life circumstances. Each month is a different topic. For those attending, there will be opportunities for a complimentary one-off energy alignment session. Once registered, you will have access to discount codes for my other offerings. To get the link, including all the resources, register to complete the agreement at the link in the show notes.
And over and over he said, we're good, move forward, we're good, move forward. And I just I couldn't let it go. And it took, gosh, 2020 and 2021. I did a lot of soul searching and deep digging and a lot of healing. And I just kind of dove into like, okay, well, if God says this isn't wrong, what else have I been making myself wrong for that really is not a big deal? And surprisingly, there were a lot of answers that were things I was taught that were terrible, horrible, awful. You'll be the worst person on the planet and you'll never be accepted again. Were like, okay, so you had an experience in life. Move on. Was it productive? Did it make you feel good? Are you happy about it? If not, move on. Look at the fruit. And so that has been my mantra since then. Okay, what fruit is this bringing?
That's a great mantra. So then you got to this place where you claimed your sovereignty.
Hmm.
You gave yourself permission to just own the messages that you were receiving from your higher self, from your inner voice.
Yeah, and I think that because my parents divorced when I was little, and I felt like I needed to please everybody, and make everybody happy. I was the oldest, and my parents divorced when I was 6, and we moved like 11 times in 8 years, and just a lot of fluctuation. And so everywhere I went, it was like, okay, who can I be to please this person? Okay,
Yeah.
who can I be to please this person rather than just being myself? And I'm still trying to let all of that go. I'm still working on that one. But
It's
there are levels and layers.
yeah, for sure. It sounds like you're much better at looking less externally to define yourself and your
Yeah.
experience and um, looking more inward than perhaps before.
Mhm.
Can you share about some of these moments of joy that come on the other side? Not that there's a moment of arrival. I don't believe that
Yeah.
happened, right? It's always an
Yeah.
ongoing journey, but
Sure.
just those moments of joy as you have given yourself this permission, those even bliss that you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I never knew this. I wouldn't have ever experienced it had I not given myself permission to listen
Yeah.
and hear my inner voice, my inner wisdom.
Yeah, so I would say first and foremost, it made me a totally different mother
Okay.
because I lived in my shame, then I shamed everyone else around me. And I had these really high expectations that no one could ever reach. And so my first son went to the military right out of high school in 2020, and he left the church. He does things that I don't agree with, that I don't think are good for his health, but um, I'm able to actually really talk and connect with him. And often, at least once a month, he'll say, "Man, this mom, I love this mom. I don't think I've ever been able to talk to this mom before like this. I don't think that I really felt that you did love and accept me until the last year or two." And also my younger children, the expectations aren't as high. They're parented completely different, and they're not made wrong for their choices. I have a son on a mission. I have a daughter that wants to be mission bound, and my oldest doesn't want to go to church. And we don't always go to church. We don't have scripture study. There's lots of things we don't do that I was so regimented on, was such a have to. And in releasing all of that, my kids are finding their own thing. Like they have freedom to choose for themselves.
You have claimed your sovereignty. You're teaching them it's okay to claim theirs and to
Yeah.
do what feels aligned for
Yeah.
them.
So just like the joy in being their mom now, I'm like, oh, I don't have to be their ruler
Mhm.
and their judge and their jury. I'm the guidebook. Like, okay, let's maybe think about that. Okay,
Mhm.
what do you think about that? And and we go to church as a family. That's the one we do that together. And when you're 18, you can choose for yourself. But this is what we're doing. And it created this incredible space in my marriage also. I am married to a very extroverted, hard on his sleeve, doesn't hide anything person. And I'm much more introverted. And I couldn't ever hear if he had doubts or if he had a struggle or if there were things that I didn't agree with. I was not a space until 2019, 2020 to listen and be like, oh, well, I don't agree with that, but I can see how that would work for you. Or, yeah, that works for me. Let's try that.
Yeah,
So that's been honestly just mostly family. That's been like the greatest thing.
I love that so much. So, um, you sang for us last week a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit.
and I kind of gathered those were spur of the moment. It was literally springing forth from your heart, the
hmm
words and the tune as well. Do you have a song that you've written or that you're in the process of writing that just embodies or expresses all this journey, not all, but this journey and what it means to you,
Yeah.
how you've changed and the joy that it's brought?
hmm Yeah. 18 months ago, I attended a retreat with Kira in Cave Creek at Savannah, and I wrote this poem slash song. And that was the first thing I sang this last week. And it's called No More. And it's basically me talking about going through my divorce and how it was really hard, and yet saying yes to yourself and saying yes to living because it was a struggle. I was pregnant and going through a divorce, and it was a lot of growing very quickly. Um, and so that starts out, and it's on my Instagram, but it starts out, no more, say yes to you. And so then I speak, and then I keep going with the no more. And so I really do love that one. And then actually, just a week and a half ago, I wrote a song. I don't even know what it's called, but it starts, the world is beautiful and it's changing now. So that's all I can think of right now. But
Oh, it's
yeah,
full. Ah,
thank you.
oh, I love that.
Thank you.
You have a gift. You have a gift.
Thank
Well,
you,
you've
Megan.
shared your book with us. and we'll leave the link to get that in the show notes. Just a final question I like to ask all of my guests. Tell us what it means to you to live beyond the shadow of doubt.
Hmm. Okay. So what came to mind when you asked that
Mhm.
question is when when I chose to get remarried, I had a mentor and he said, I said, it's just that I don't know that I can ever trust again. And he said, well, Randa, lots of people are not trustworthy, but people are risk worthy. And if you know that you are connected to God or your higher power, however your audience wants to connect with that, and you know who you are in that relationship,
Mhm.
then you get to trust him and you get to risk with your husband. And so that to me, I don't know that I will ever have beyond a shadow of doubt, because I feel I'm always asking questions, but
Mhm.
I choose to trust that whatever is coming, um, is worth the risk. And if the fruits seem like they're good, I'm going to risk it. And
Mhm.
if it's just going to be an experience and I get to learn from it, I still get to trust that it was what was best.
That's
Does
awesome.
that answer your question?
Yes, it's a great answer. I love it. I live with questions as well. I think I will always have questions till the day
Yeah.
I die. I I think it's a healthier way to live,
Mm,
emotionally, spiritually,
yeah.
mentally, intellectually. You can't learn new things if you're not asking questions.
Yeah, exactly.
And questioning processes and questioning why things are this way and where did it come from. I just think I actually what I used to fear, uncertainty, not knowing something, I actually lean in, actually feel at ease with the uncertainty and the unknown.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Can I say something?
of course.
I
Yes.
wanted to say something at the beginning, and I just wanted to thank you for um, all that you shared at the collective and the success
Oh,
codes. And
thank you.
you are very courageous. I don't know if you see that in yourself, but the courage that you have to step forward into the uncertainty and to continue to ask, continue to share, because your journey isn't the same as everybody's. And just like there's not one toothpaste for every one person, every journey is going to be different and it's okay. And I think that you know, and I know, and we can connect on this, that it doesn't matter where you are in your faith journey or your questions, it's that you're continuing to seek. And I don't know that we'll ever have all of the answers. I heard this quote once that understanding is the booby prize, because if you say, oh, I understand, then you're shutting down all
That's awesome.
other bits of knowledge coming in. So,
I think I might title this episode Understanding is the Booming Prize.
oh, it was Warner Earhart who said that. So if you
Okay,
quote
well,
him,
we'll just
Warner
we'll just
Earhart said that.
we'll just keep the quote in and nothing else. That's awesome though. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just really quickly for funsies questions,
Yeah.
while our listeners get to know you a little bit better, tell us your favorite book. Just looking for one or two word answers.
Yeah. Okay. So my favorite book is The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn.
Mhm.
I read it in 2002 and I continue to reread it every 5 years at least. It's such
It's
a
a
good
good-
book.
It is a good book.
Yeah.
Are you an introvert or an extrovert? I think I know.
Def Well, it's interesting. I am an introvert, but I can sing to tens of thousands of
Mhm.
people.
Maybe
But
you're
just
an ambivert. Maybe you're a little bit of both.
I am definitely a little bit of both.
And then who's your favorite artist?
Music or
You
art?
pick. You pick.
Okay. Um, Gosh, I love Whitney Houston. I just love the power with which she sang. There's just, I mean, sorry, that was more than one
Yeah.
word answer,
No,
but
that's fine. She is
yeah,
missed. She is a
yeah,
powerhouse.
yeah.
Are you a night owl or a morning lark?
A morning lark. I want to be up with the sun.
And do you have a celebrity crush?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, Glenn Powell. He's just the cutest thing ever. I love him.
This is one of my favorite questions. Learn a lot about people from their
Yeah,
celebrity crush, or if they don't have one. Do you do
yeah.
still or carbonated water or diet? Other fun beverage?
Um, I love carbonated water, but like bubblies. I love flavored ones.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I like
but
those.
I also like Topo Chico with a lime. That's one of my
Oh, yeah,
favorites too.
that's yummy.
Yeah.
And finally, the furthest place you have traveled.
The furthest place. I don't know the mileage, so I'll just say I've been to Jerusalem
Mm,
and Jordan, and I've been to Tahiti. So I don't know.
gosh, those are kind of in opposite
Yeah,
directions.
I'm going to Switzerland on Tuesday, so I'm
Oh,
excited about that.
fun. Travel
Yeah.
is so fun. I love travel
Yes,
so.
me
Well,
too.
Randa, I know you're a busy mom and all the things are going on all the time. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to
No,
share
thank
your
you.
heart with us. Thanks for
Thank
coming on.
you.
You're
I
a beautiful.
appreciate you.
You too. Thank you. Writer, teacher, author, Mormon scholar, and founder of Dialogue Journal, Eugene England said, "My faith encourages my curiosity and awe. It thrusts me out into relationship with all creation and encourages me to enter into dialogue." As a proud member of the Dialogue Podcast Network, my hope is that Living Beyond the Shadow of Doubt podcast is an extension of that vision. Visit meganskidmorecoaching.com to find this podcast and additional free resources, including the link for a complimentary coaching session. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram for more, or to send me a DM. Help the podcast grow. Please follow, review, and share with a friend.